Is it possible that the thing that most divides our loyalties and passions is what can inspire us all to work together? For centuries, sports has played a major role in defining the civic identity of America. Today, they hold the power and the ability to transform lives.
We're not looking for big league players, we're looking for big league people.
Ask the city of Los Angeles, who invested their profits from the 1984 Olympic Games in youth sports programs in the inner cities. Two sisters from Compton picked up a tennis racket. The rest is history. Sports allow an inspirational moment.
Oh wow, what a moment.
To ignite a battle to find a cure.
We have raised a little over $3 million.
They provide life lessons and hope, and the benefits of working together for the greater good. Most of all, sports are one of the few remaining methods we have to reach at-risk youth for positive social change. That is the power of sports.
Welcome to Power of Sports, presented by Group 1001. I'm your host, Rick Horrow, and we're here in Big D in Dallas, the site of the 2018 NFL Draft, and as always, Texas does it bigger than anyone else. More than 4 times the people are here in attendance as any other draft in NFL history. This month we'll tell you what the other teams in this market are doing to support this community. We'll also chat with the legendary Pop Warner football coach about how his career impacted youth in the area. And you'll also hear a firsthand account of how a youth golf program had a life-changing impact on one Dallas native. Let's start things off by talking about the remarkable work of teams in this area. It's a segment we call City Pulse. When the Texas Rangers changed ownership groups in 2010, building a new youth academy in an underserved area of Dallas was immediately listed as a priority within the organization. A 6-year planning process resulted in a complex that can rival some of the best minor league and spring training complexes in the country in the middle of an area in need.
We built basically a 5-field outdoor complex and 1-field indoor complex. So it's 2 hybrid fields that can also be used for high school softball, a t-ball field, a high school 60x90 field, a full turf field, and then the Globe Life Training Center that features Adrian Beltre Field. And then we also have a full-scale weight room that's just like you'd see at the ballpark. We also have 4 classrooms upstairs and conference rooms because baseball and softball are important parts of what we're doing here, but really what we're also trying to do is transform these young people and transform this community. And in order to do that, we felt that the classrooms and the conference rooms were also equally as important. West Dallas, where we are, has about 11,000 kids within just basically 11 square miles. Less than 25% of those households have a high school diploma in their homes. About 98% of those kids are in free or reduced lunch programs. Of those 11,000 kids, only 2,400 are currently enrolled in after-school programming or support beyond the school day. We felt it was important to really work with those kids and their families and give them the tools that they need to succeed. Give people a chance to do anything from learn about literacy, to financial literacy, to GED, to NCAA clearinghouse, to if the family needs it and they're in a position where they're in a circumstance that requires it, even have social workers on site that can work with these families. So we're not just supporting that young man or woman, but we're supporting the entire family, in which that way we feel like we have the best chance at really having success.
Building fields has also been a focus of Major League Soccer franchise FC Dallas, who had invested $1.2 million in 7 pitches across the area. It's the primary initiative of their foundation, whose defined mission statement is to improve the health and well-being of underserved youth in North Texas.
We have over 4,000 kids a week that play on an FC Dallas Foundation pitch. These kids have a safe place to play. Our players are engaged in it. They want to do more. They ask, when is the next one? So when you go into a community and you put this shiny new pitch, whether it be synthetic turf or sport court material, and you put that down, the community comes out, they enjoy it, they're together, camaraderie. Personal connection is what's going to build our communities, especially here in the technology age and we're all in our phones and stuff. There is not a phone being used on one of our pitches. They are together, they are laughing, they are talking, there are parents. It is that hub, it is becoming that hub.
For the Dallas Mavericks, a program aimed at enhancing interest in learning at a critical age for kids begins with a special camp for their teachers.
With the science of basketball, there's a full curriculum for 5th and 6th grade teachers. And what's fun about that is they get to come in and learn it hands-on on the court. So they get to learn all the different lesson plans and activities, and they actually get to interact with a Mavs player and legend, really get to learn what it could be like to put those things to use in their classrooms. Truly, we want to get kids excited, but we also want to get teachers excited, because if they can be excited about the program, if they can have a good time teaching it to their kids, then everybody can get excited about math and science.
Teachers leave the camp with a kit containing everything they need to implement the science of basketball in their classrooms. Their top students then get a chance to expand on curriculum at a camp of their own.
It's so exciting for us that we get to have a player in Dwight Powell who is actually a Stanford grad, and he himself absolutely loves to talk about math and science and education. For him to come out, and this is a role model that kids really look up to, but also our Mavs legend, my community ambassador in Rolando Blackman, who has been through a long career in the NBA and can also just talk through what are statistics and how is that important to the game and all the different things that are really relevant for basketball but also really relevant for math and science. It's just an exciting way to get them all involved, and I'm really happy that they get to help us on this.
Predictive statistics puts you in the ballpark, so you can make an estimation or an educated guess about things and go from there. First and foremost, it's a great way to get the kids engaged. I think it gets them excited about it. It's an easy way for them to kind of relate to math and science, technology, engineering, and all of that to a real life scenario hands-on. So obviously the more excited they are, the easier it is for them to learn and stay engaged, and math is kind of one of the fundamental building blocks of everything. So it teaches them how to learn, and it's a valuable kind of part of their education for sure.
That's your City Pulse. When we come back, we'll talk to a legendary Pop Warner football coach who had a significant impact on youth football in the Dallas area. For over 30 years, Bobby Ransom has been an integral part in the lives of thousands of young athletes in Southwest Dallas. In an area better known as Oak Cliff, Ransom has coached and now serves as the athletic director for the Oak Cliff Titans athletics organization. Leading both Pop Warner football and cheer programs, he's helped dozens of athletes from one of the most underserved areas of Dallas go on to play collegiately and even professionally. More than that, his Titans organization focuses on forming the kids of Oak Cliff into positive citizens of the community as they transition into adulthood.
It's our first game out here, man. You hear me? Let's go, man. Tighten up on me, tighten up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Tighten up!
Bobby Ransom, athletic director for Oak Cliff Titans.
Yes, sir.
This is a huge effort, a huge undertaking. You personally have been involved in youth sports in this program for 30 years. How did you get started here?
Actually, I started in 1988 with my two of my nephews and my brother-in-law. And then once I got started and helping out the kids, it's nothing like it. You know, the excitement of working with the younger generation. So,
well, you know, the mandate, and we've seen it from some of your printed stuff, we strive to educate our children not only in sports but in life, with the goal that every child who's ever been Titan proud, Jersey, is stronger in both spirit and character, future citizens of our great community. And you live by that. That's not a statement. You actually live by that.
Yes, sir. Well, basically, most of our kids are like in single-family homes, and we set up and try to be a father figure to them and let them know the right and wrong with society. And we have a saying in our organization where we go GFE, which God first, family second, and education third. If they don't get the grades, it's just like no pass, no play in Pop Warner, and then we even stress it even more within our organization in North Texas, not just the Oak Cliff Titans, North Texas as a whole. So we try to teach the kids that without education, you cannot strive to be a better person.
Talk about the alums who've come through this program.
Our program along, we have Jalen Mills that actually played for the Titans. We had Casey Prentice. I don't know if any of y'all remember that guy. He played for Kansas City Chiefs. He played for me with the Oak Cliff Jets, which out of North Texas. And he was a personal favorite of mine. Tayshawn Gibson played for North Texas. We have, right in the last 2 years, probably 30 kids signed D1 scholarships. The most notable in the last couple of years is Catrell Thomas with Boise State, Omar Manning at TCU, and Levinsky Chenault at Colorado. Those are the most notable in the last couple of years.
Pretty significant alumni roster. Now, Jalen Mills, when you look at a kid, when do you know that he's got it?
Well, on Jalen, when you saw him, you knew that right off the bat. Actually, all four of those kids, you saw them, they gonna make it. They had a good attitude, you know, and they listened, they were very respectful. So you had automatically knew they, especially Jalen, he was gonna make it.
So tell us a little bit about cheer from your perspective. It's not just the football side, but it's the cheer side.
We start with cheer as well from 5 to 12, well, 5 to 15. We actually go 15 on cheer. And we strive to have cheer be just as strong as football. And the education and everything the same with our cheerleaders. Family, education, and God, you know, all the same.
So the bottom line is you have a kid come back, person come back, successful in life, man, woman, football, cheer, finding Coach Bobby, give him a big hug. How does it make you feel?
Oh man, it's just, it's unbelievable, you know, and I have it all the time. I run into kids in stores I hadn't seen in years, and they, Coach Bobby, you know, it's unbelievable. I just, you know, it put a smile on my face.
So we understand that the kids that are gonna make it are drafted 40 minutes down the road at AT&T Stadium, but the real learning comes here. Bobby Ransom, thank you really, really a lot. Appreciate it. We're here at the Volunteers of America LPGA Texas Classic. Just another example of how important golf is to this region. Speaking of golf, the First Tee is an international organization that teaches kids not only about the game of golf, but how to be well-rounded in the game of life. The First Tee of Greater Dallas is one of the local chapters of the organization, who have a living example of the impact they have working beside them every single day.
My name is Ryan Glover. I'm the South Regional Program Manager. I've been with the First Tee for about 13 years. Basically, I didn't have a happy home. So not having that happy home, golf was just another thing that I didn't have to come on. I would stay at the golf course after football practice or after baseball practice. And it was something I could just do until dark and then come home, take a shower, and then get ready for the next day. My impression of golf is usually the easy one. It's a rich man's sport. So it was something that I didn't think I had access to. Especially where I lived, I didn't have access to. They actually reached out to me and brought me to the golf course, my closest golf course, and then I started with the program.
We use golf as a platform to help make kids better kids. So we have 9 core values, and we have 9 healthy habits. And we know that one of the ways to get the kid to listen to what we're trying to teach them is to put a club in their hand and let them start swinging it, hitting a golf ball. And at that point in time, we can then begin to discuss respect and honesty, humility, and perseverance.
I started playing NTPJ events and then winning those. Then I started playing AJGA events. Started winning those. Then my district, I dominated in my district. Then once I got to high school, my upper level year, I got to play against Jordan Spieth. So that was a plus with playing in my region.
Well, what's inspired me is watching people on our staff like Ryan. If we start talking about respect, and that may be the subject of the day for that lesson. Well, one of the questions in the books, our textbook, which looks like a yardage book for the pros putting back in their pants pocket. One of those questions is, if it's respect, is how did you respect yourself today? How did you respect others today? And how did you respect the course? And so the kid fills that out. And so they're learning, even while they're putting or taking a full swing or even working over on their short game.
So I'm here to give another kid an opportunity. I've even received my first email from a parent saying, hey, you really impacted my kid, and this kid was about to commit suicide. Saying that, like, since he's been coming to golf class, he's been gaining that confidence back. So just give kids the opportunity of a lifetime to play golf and just learn through core values.
A great example of the power of sports on the links, and one that is being replicated in hundreds of chapters all over the world. When we come back, another inspiring story from Fields and Futures in Oklahoma City. The Texas Rangers' current home, Globe Life Park, opened as Ballpark of Arlington in 1994. Their new stadium, Globe Life Field, will be ready by 2020, a new stadium with a retractable roof. Sparkling new fields is what Fields and Futures, a nonprofit in Oklahoma City, is all about. The group is committed to rebuilding 42 inner-city athletic fields for Oklahoma's largest school district, believing every child deserves the opportunity to experience the power of sports for himself. And it starts with a safe place to play, a field to call home. Each month on Power Sports, we track their progress and introduce you to some of the student athletes benefiting from their efforts. The baseball field at Northwest Classen High School is more than a field, offering a place to work hard and achieve dreams. This is Julian's story.
I look up to both of my parents. Just like to see them smile, keep them proud, work hard for them. I would describe them lovable, hard workers. It motivates me to keep going, striding forward, pursuing my dream, just baseball. Hard work pays. When I work on the field, I know it's gonna pay me back by when I play on the field. Study hard, get good grades, play hard, get more playing time. This field means a lot to me. It's like, it's a home away from home. That's what we refer to it. Yeah, I have to rake it, fix it up for the next day. Yeah, because we have to be like good to each other in the dugout, on the field, outside, in life, with everybody else. My teammates, they're all awesome. We call each other brothers. It's a brotherhood. We're all family in this dugout. Coach is like a father to us. Most of the classmates in my class, we've all made a strong bond with each other. We trust each other and everything. Have confidence on the field and off the field. I was here when they put in the fence. The new fence, it was my freshman year, about 2 years ago. A nasty plain fence. A bunch of the trash would get stuck on the fence, and we'd have to go pick it up and get it out of the fence. When I see the field like that, like our field is clean, it makes me feel really good. Because if I didn't have baseball, I'd probably like be out there on the streets just doing bad stuff and not trying to be somebody, not having a goal in life.
When we come back, we'll shine the spotlight on the amazing work in sports through the world of social media. A little trivia as we return on the Power Sports. How many social media accounts does the average professional sports franchise maintain? We'll give you a couple of seconds to guess. The answer is 6, and our crack staff scans each of these every month so you don't have to. Dwayne Taylor has more in our social spotlight.
Thanks, Rick. St. Louis Cardinals second baseman Colton Wong was born and raised in Hilo, Hawaii, and proudly celebrates both his heritage and the history of the Big Island. He even turned down his first major league contract offer and instead opted to play college ball at the University of Hawaii. So when molten lava began to erupt out of the Kilauea volcano just 25 miles from where Wong was raised, he knew he had to do something to help. Wong started a GoFundMe page to raise money for families displaced by the eruptions. The Cardinals joined in the effort by offering special tickets to a game, with the majority of the proceeds going to his efforts. Wong's GoFundMe page can be found in the bio of his Twitter account at Colton Wong. It should be no surprise that the Celtics' Terry Rozier carried his team on his back at times through most of the recent NBA playoffs, because he's been doing exactly that for his older sister her entire life. Rozier's sister, Tradesha, has cerebral palsy, requiring round-the-clock care for most of her life. Rozier would often carry his sister on his back so she could still take part in neighborhood activities, and still does it even today if the situation warrants. Rozier and his mother are currently working on creating the Terry Rozier Foundation, which will help inner-city children who have disabilities. Both college and NFL teams spend several weeks every summer holding a wide range of youth football camps, but the Los Angeles Rams took a different approach with one camp in a location you might not expect. Participants in the camp were inmates from the Ventura Youth Correctional Facility in Camarillo, California. 9 former and 3 current Rams players not only played football with the kids, but also sat down and discussed life struggles and the importance of future goals. The team also donated cleats and jerseys to each youth who participated. One inmate described the camp as giving him the feeling that he was still an important part of society despite his current situation. Monty Ball left a large legacy at Wisconsin when his Badger career finished in 2012. At the time, he held the NCAA record for touchdowns in a career, but Ball has started to leave another big imprint on the university, establishing the Monty Ball Fund, which student athletes at the school can use for specialized counseling, addiction education programs, or other mental health services. Ball has battled his own addiction with alcoholism during his career, but has now been sober for 2 years. His first fundraiser will be the Swing for Recovery golf tournament in Madison. That's your social spotlight. Let's send it back to Rick to wrap up the show in Dallas.
That concludes the Power of Sports from Big D, Dallas. Next month we head to New York City, where we see teams and organizations and how they're doing big things in the Big Apple. Thanks for joining us this month. I'm Rick Horrow. See you next time on the Power of Sports, presented by Group 1001.